Hello, my friend, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Daily. My name is Aaron Machbitz. We have some absolutely massive news about WrestleMania and WWE. Apparently, WrestleMania 43 in 2027 will take place in Saudi Arabia. The news story hasn't officially broke yet, but there was some rumblings and talking about it, and then there was sort of like a legitimate press release issued, but then it was taken back. But according to PWI Insider, this is legit information, and that WrestleMania 43 in 2027 will take place in Saudi Arabia. We know WrestleMania 42 is going back to Las Vegas, WrestleMania 43 being in Saudi Arabia, and this is the first WrestleMania that is outside of North America. Now, do I love this information? No. The first WrestleMania outside of North America should absolutely be in Europe, where the fans are absolutely loving WWE. The fans, the atmosphere, the energy is unbelievable. Take it to France, take it to London, take it to places like that. But of course, TKO is extremely greedy and they're all about money, so they take whatever offer was the largest, which most likely was from Saudi Arabia. So we're going to see a WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia. That's what we're going to see. Again, don't love it. Don't think it's a good idea. Have the first WrestleMania outside of North America in somewhere other than Europe, right? Like that's where it should be. That's the logical, easiest decision to make, is like those fans love it. Look at the most recent Class and Parish. I mean, look at what AEW has done in London as well. Like, those fans deserve something special for being special fans like a WrestleMania. Instead, WWE makes the decision that's all about money, 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 and they take WrestleMania 43 to Saudi Arabia. Again, this hasn't been officially released, but PWI Insider has said this is legit information. The press release was like accidentally released from some Arabic news sites and then, taken back, and then they caught wind of it, and whatever the case may be. Also, this might be another one of those Triple H things where he sends the information to the dirt sheets, resends the information, tells them what to say, has them sort of release it, and then does a big press release about it later. It's a whole work shoot type thing that Triple H and TKO are like sort of maneuvering the strings. That could potentially be the case, or someone legit in Saudi Arabia in sort of their press release division could have released it accidentally, not knowing when it was happening, then it got retracted. Someone caught wind of it, PWI Insider saw it, and now they're telling the whole world, and then eventually like a permanent sort of public press release will be made about WrestleMania 43 being in Saudi Arabia. And then speaking about sort of TKO being sort of money hungry, driven, only focused on money, this was another interesting thing that got released, and I'm going to be reading something, so be prepared as I look down, because I think this is really interesting about why, the link between TKO, money, going to Saudi Arabia, raising ticket prices, all of those things of that nature. And so TKO president Mark Shapiro states that Vince McMahon was primarily pricing tickets for families and wasn't focused on maximizing the opportunity to increase said prices like TKO is focused on doing. So yes, say what you want about Vince McMahon, whatever you want. It's totally okay. But he was focused on WWE bringing in families, a kids event, families of 4, families of 5, families of 6, being able to comfortably go to a WWE PLE or pay-per-view. That is not really possible anymore. As you can see, TKO's driving force is to maximize their ticket prices. I mean, he even said later on that WWE is focused on raising their ticket prices to as much as like a UFC event. There's not as many UFC events as there is WWE events. And so, of course, you can make a UFC price very premium ticket prices because they happen once every 6 months or something like that, where they have a really, really big event. I don't know now if UFC maybe is running more events more often because they have more fighters. I'm not really sure. But WWE runs a big show every single month, and they run a SmackDown every week, and they run a Raw every single week. And so if ticket prices are extremely high for all of those events, you're minimizing the number of families who can go to those shows, which is really what you want. I'm about to have a son. I want to be able to take my son to a WWE show whenever I want, because that's the whole point. We're bonding over a mutual interest. And you can see by the decision of TKO to take WrestleMania to Saudi Arabia, to say, they said this at a Goldman Sachs conference, that all they care about is maximizing ticket prices, not, focusing on being it affordable for the family. I mean, you could see that in almost every sports domain ever. You want to go to a Texas Rangers game here in Dallas, and for 4 people, it's like $1,000 with food and beer and parking and tickets and all these sorts of things. Like, it gets out of control. Sports are supposed to be entertainment. That's why they're called sports entertainment. But if you have no fans that are able to afford the tickets, then what the fuck is it for? And so TKO is clearly stating, very clear, they're not hiding behind anything. They're clearly stating they're trying to maximize profits to the highest degree, and that means raising ticket prices. That means taking WrestleMania to Saudi Arabia. That means doing all of these things that aren't putting the fan first. And wrestling is all about the fans. If there is no fans, there is no wrestling. If there is no fans, there is no WWE. There's no one coming to the shows and all these things. So I think TKO really should realign their priorities. Yes, you're a business. Maximize your profits. Totally cool with that. I do the same thing in my business. But I also value and love the customer, because without the customer, there is no business. Without someone who watches things or views things or buys things, there is no business. And I think TKO should really reconsider who their audience is, the fans, and what creating a great product will do. Fans are willing to go to the ends of the earth for a great product, for a wrestler they love, for a storyline they love, for a company they love. And that should be the focus of TKO. And I don't think this video is going to change their mind, but it's important for people to understand where they're headed, and maybe how you want to support them changes over time. But I think the information, understanding the information is extremely, extremely important. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Then like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Lots of love. Cheers.